I can't die. It is impossible. Even if I self-destruct, I will always come back.
Oh. That's fair. So today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 hacks in Dragon Ball, and the best way to describe what a hacks is to direct you to the TV tropes page on a story breaker power. In essence, a hacks or story breaker ability is something that is so unfair it nearly breaks the plot.
The unstoppable Exodia!
Dragon Ball has quite a few of these, ranging from Garlic Jr.'s complete immortality, to Cell and Boo's ridiculous regeneration abilities, to the incredibly overpowered results of the fusion dance, and everything in between. The only rules for this list are, I am not considering powers based on how powerful they are individually, but rather how powerful they are in the context of the arc or situation they are being used in. I think you'll get what I mean once I start the list, and now, without wasting any more time, I'm gonna jump right into it. Here are the top 5 most overpowered hacks abilities in Dragon Ball. A lot of people like to sleep on Krillin. You know what Krillin can do though? Cut through anything. Literally anything. As stated by Mr. Akira Toriyama himself, the Censorship is capable of cutting through absolutely anything, no exceptions. Now I know there was that one filler where the Censorship connects with the back of Cell's neck and just dissipates, but that doesn't count. In every other situation, Krillin should be able to cut through literally anybody no matter how powerful they are, as evidenced by the fact that he was able to cut off Frieza's tail and slash through Nappa's cheek. Both of these characters were significantly more powerful than him at the time, which goes to show that the Censorship just completely ignores a person's physical defenses. Cell and Frieza both have the ability, and Vegeta seems to as well, but Krillin's the only one who uses it often, and not often enough in my opinion. If I were Krillin, I would spam the shit out of the Censorship because I would be able to kill whoever I wanted with that thing. Granted, it's not quite as overpowered later on in the series when the main villains are capable of completely regenerating, so there's that, but that's why it's so low on the list. Nonetheless, anyone without regeneration powers that gets hit with the Censorship is pretty much gone. That's ridiculous. You know, Senzu beans are kinda ridiculous. They can, without fail, heal pretty much all injuries like ever. This even works when they're split in half too, which is something that the Z Fighters seem to forget later on in the series, but that's not the point. See, when the Senzu bean is combined with a Saiyan's ability to get stronger when they recover from near death, things start to look a bit ridiculous. The Zenkai ability sounded cool on paper at first, maybe, but as the series progresses, you begin to realize just how incredibly insane it has the potential to be. Through Zenkai boosts alone, Vegeta manages to go from weaker than all of Frieza's top henchmen to stronger than Frieza's third form over the span of one arc alone. This is a textbook example of a story breaker power, especially because of the fact that it can be exploited, as shown when Vegeta asks Krillin to damage him before getting Dende to heal him. If the main characters of the show decided that they wanted to use Senzu beans intelligently, you know, like against Cell or something, they would be pretty much unstoppable, because look, this is a win-win. If you fight somebody who's weaker than you, then you don't have to worry about getting near death, and you win. If you fight somebody who's stronger than you, they beat you within an inch of your life, you eat a Senzu bean, and you either become stronger than them, or repeat the process until you do get stronger than them. How do you stop that? Oh wait, you don't. Now look, okay, I understand that natural power progression, especially in fictional universes based solely around fighting like Dragon Ball, can inevitably lead the heroes into fighting some pretty ridiculous villains. If the villains weren't powerful, then you wouldn't have any sense of danger, there wouldn't be any threat. I get it. But there's a such thing as going too far. Majin Buu is just a walking hacks. I can't pick any of his abilities in particular because he just has an unstoppable moveset, okay? So alright, look, let's run through everything Buu can do, just in case you forgot. Buu can manipulate matter. It affects everyone, no matter how powerful they are. And if you don't believe me, He even turned Vegito into candy. He can absorb people at will, even if they are stronger than him, like significantly stronger than him, like Gohan was. And he gains all of their abilities, all of their raw power, and all of their intelligence. He can regenerate endlessly from any injuries with zero difficulty. He seems to have a limitless ki supply. He has more raw power than pretty much anyone in the series save Gotenks, Gohan, and Vegito. He can copy moves on sight, and he eventually gains the ability to warp anywhere in the universe. What the fuck? Alright. Take Boo's absorption ability, crank it up 20 levels, and then you've got Baby's possession ability. This ability doesn't seem to have any limits, admittedly like Boo's absorption ability, aside from the fact that the target has to be injured before Baby can possess them. The thing is, I use injured very loosely because it can be anything as small as a cut or scrape on the target's body, and Baby has them. Like, man, all it would take is a paper cut, and Baby would have you no questions asked. What's even worse is that he can possess multiple people at the same time and make all of them do his fighting for them. So when he has another potential target in mind, he can send the people he's already controlling after that target, and the moment they get injured, which is bound to happen when they're fighting multiple foes at once, Baby can sneak in through the inevitable cuts and scrapes that are gonna pop up on his target's body and then possess them. What's even crazier is that with this possession, Baby seems to make his target a lot stronger. Because Goku, in base form I might add, had pretty much no trouble whatsoever with Trunks, Goten, and everybody else the Baby had taken over. Meanwhile, Vegeta, on the other hand, was being given quite a run for his money by Baby Goten and Baby Gohan. Yet somehow, Baby Vegeta is able to utterly thrash Goku without even transforming, I might add, when Goku cranks his power up all the way to Super Saiyan 3. With Vegeta possessed, Baby even manages to transform into a golden great ape and exceed Super Saiyan 4 Goku in power, despite the fact that Golden Great Ape is the precursor to Super Saiyan 4. Speaking of Goku, Baby could have taken Goku over if he wanted to. Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do it? Alright, before I move on to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Now these didn't make it either because they're just flatly not as impressive as the other hacks on the list. They're not as impressive in context, they're situational, or the characters using them don't fight. But alright, yeah, without further ado, here they are. Alright, look. Cell might not be the most powerful character on this list, but that said, he definitely has the potential to be the most ridiculous, and, contextually, might be the most powerful villain relative to the strength of the good guys at the time. Granted, that's up for debate. Boo was leagues above everybody, Omega Shenron was too, all that. But see here, I'm not quite sure how Cell even died.
I can't die! It is impossible!
Because, let's look at this, right? He has regeneration, which he got from the cells of Piccolo, and this is not just any regeneration. No, this regeneration power exceeds Piccolo's by a long shot. It takes no time, first of all. Piccolo's regeneration takes quite a while, whereas Cell's takes pretty much no time at all. Cell can regenerate his entire body from a single cell, no less. And instead of getting weaker like Namekians do when he regenerates, Cell gets stronger thanks to the Saiyan cells he has. And the power that Cell receives from his Zenkai boost is proportional to the severity of the injury he sustained. So if he regenerates from a single cell like he can when he self-destructs, he gets significantly more powerful. See, what's really weird about that, right, is that it's stated by Vegeta that Zenkai boosts only happen in response to an injury that isn't self-inflicted, meaning that Cell's self-destruction shouldn't have netted him a Zenkai boost, but whatever. Since it does, that means Cell could repeatedly self-destruct, regenerate, self-destruct, regenerate. And it doesn't matter if there's no atmosphere or anything nearby. It doesn't matter how disfigured he is because he has Frieza cells, can survive in a vacuum of space, and can survive any injury no matter how gruesome or disfiguring it is. And on top of that, apparently, his cells can somehow learn techniques of people who are nearby when he regenerates from self-destruction? So he picked up the ability to use instant transmission and can teleport now. And that isn't even mentioning the things that Cell is theoretically capable of. He says to Piccolo that he's capable of wielding a spirit bomb? He might be capable of pulling the Kaioken out, too. He's also a genius, let's not forget that. And he can create little baby versions of himself, all of which are on par with everyone except for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Oh yeah, and in GT he can absorb people like Buu can.
That's it, I'm done, it's over.